Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to our coffee times together to talk horror movies. Today, I actually would like to talk to you about a couple of horror comedies that I have watched lately.
It's coffee time.
So after watching and loving Come to Daddy and Villains this year, but granted those are really different type of horror comedy. I did watch 4 other horror comedies and I wanted to put them together in this video to talk to you about them and my thoughts on the comedies. Before we dive into those 4 movies, they are also all released between 2018 and 2019. Before that, if you love horror, please consider to subscribe to the channel and to click the notification bell so that you're notified every time that I upload another coffee time. Let's start talking about the only one that I have to mention from 2018, and that is Bloodfest. And actually this has been so far one of my absolute favorite horror comedies from the last years. It's an American comedy horror film written and directed by Owen Egerton and starring Seychelle Gabriel, Robbie Kay, and Jacob Batalon. Other cast members include Zachary Levi, Barbara Dunkelman, Nick Rutherford, and Tate Donovan. One of the best things about this movie is that it is made really for horror fans. There is something called the Bloodfest, right? And this is like a festival where horror fans go to in order to experience like the typical tropes and scenes from like very popular horror movies, and you get to put yourself into the position, you know, of those final girls and those villains, and it's like this huge experience. And this is the movie that I wanted when I checked Hellfest, which was such a big flop for me. And this is what I wanted when I think about a horror festival or a festival celebrating horror. I don't think just about your typical fun park just with horror. I think, you know, a festival that celebrates the typical scenes, the slashers, the killers. It was fantastic. It was so much fun. As you can imagine, our main character, his dream is to go to this festival, and he manages to get in that year, and we follow him through the festival, and it's all fun and games until they realize that people in this festival are getting killed for real. It is a ton of fun. It has many Easter eggs celebrating the horror tropes and done in a good way. It is also very bloody, another reason why I really loved it, and this is one that I definitely recommend you to check out. Now let's go to the other 3 films, and they are all 3 from 2019, so I'm catching up with the horror comedies, you guys. So the first one that I want to talk to you about is Little Monsters. It's a zombie comedy film written and directed by Abe Forsyth, starring Lupita Nyong'o, Alexander England, Kat Stewart, Diesel Latorraca, and Josh Gad. The story actually starts like sort of a drama comedy, and it's showing a couple that is struggling to stay together. The boyfriend is a wannabe musician that doesn't want to grow up, basically, and at the beginning it was very slow paced. I was kind of getting bored, you know, because that's not what I had signed up for, you know. I wanted my zombie film, and then the movie gets, you know, to the next level. So the main premise here is that this guy ends up in a school trip with Lupita Nyong'o's character, who was fantastic in this film, and she's a teacher of very small kids. I think they're like around 6 years old, and so they all go to this farm to pet the animals and stuff like that when they find themselves in the middle of a zombie outbreak. And one thing that I would say about this film is that I really appreciated that it tried to be fresh and original. I don't think I've ever seen a horror film where we follow a complete class of 6-year-old kids find themselves in the middle of like a zombie apocalypse or anything like that, and the kids did such a wonderful job. And it's so much harder to shoot these kind of movies with kids because there's a lot of things they cannot see and they have to react to. There's a lot of things the actors cannot say in front of the kids, so everything has to be like, the takes need to be done 2-3 times in order to get everything for the editing. So I think, you know, they took a great challenge with the film. I do think the second part was crazy and fun and gory and bloody, and there were a lot of really funny moments. The only criticism that I have about this film is that the beginning was very slow paced, and also that a couple of jokes toward the end, they didn't sit well with me because they had to do with kids, and I think they maybe pushed it a bit too far. Moving on with We Summon the Darkness from 2019. This one I kind of was expecting to love more, and I think it's my least favorite one from this list of horror movies, just because they took a concept that it was really cool and it ended up being like just a big disappointment. It's an American horror thriller film directed by Mark Myers and written by Alan Tretha. The film stars Alexandra Daddario, Keenan Johnson, Maddie Hassan, Amy Forsyth, Logan Miller, Austin Swift, and Johnny Knoxville. My favorite part of the film was the soundtrack. That's it. No, basically we follow three girls that are into metal, and they are, you know, taking a trip to see this band, and there is some things that are being said that are foreshadowing what's coming, and you can already tell the movie is really predictable when it comes to that. And especially if you have already seen the trailer, actually they spoil the big plot twist in the movie. So okay, thanks for that. So don't watch the trailer if you want to give this movie a try. So we have this group of three girls, and they meet boys, and something happens, and basically the whole movie is about satanic rituals are performed by a special group of people. That's all I want to say, not to spoil anything. You know, I don't like to give spoilers on my videos because I myself, I'm not a fan of spoilers. But the problem with the movie is that I think they were trying to be something like Satanic Panic, and it just wasn't there. There wasn't really like a big plot, really. They just took an idea that was really cool, satanic rituals, heavy metal music, you know, all of these typical tropes and things, and it had a lot of potential, and they tried to make this kind of 80s vibe kind of film, and it just didn't work. And I feel bad because I did enjoy the idea, and actually the acting is very decent. The acting was actually nice, especially from the girls. The boys were a little bit weaker, but I just felt disappointed in the way that I had higher hopes for it, because the way the movie looks with the posters and the trailer, it just looked nice. You know, I think that it's well shot and well edited, but everything else was kind of missing. And the last one that I would like to talk to you about is Ajami from 2019. I've already talked about this on my Fantasy Film Fest vlog when I went to see the movie. This is a Belgian horror film, and it's actually the first Belgian horror film that includes zombies. This is a movie that it's just supposed to be ridiculous, funny, it's not supposed to make any sense, and it's just gore galore. So we are following a girl that is going together with her boyfriend and her mom to get a breast de-augmentation. She just wants to get less breasts because she has huge boobs. You already know that this is going to be a comedy. And they go to this kind of clinic for plastic surgery to another country. And when they get there, the zombie outbreak happens in one of the rooms at the hospital where they're staying, and it is just a survival story. There's many jokes. Like, the movie is not supposed to be accurate or anything like that. It's just supposed to be ridiculous and funny, and I absolutely love the dialogues. One of the characters is actually, he kind of faints when he sees blood. It's like, what are you doing in a zombie movie? Like, so much fun. It was a roller coaster, but there's always action, there's also always something going on, and there's many things that are so ridiculous. I don't want to spoil, you know, the fun for you guys. The ending was okay. I think the ending, I would have liked it to end in another way, but still, if you're looking for just a fun, super gory zombie film that it's just ridiculous and just there for the fun, this is the one for you. Alright guys, so these were 4 horror comedies that I watched lately. Let me know down below what is your favorite horror comedy of all times, or which ones would you recommend to me. Let's talk about it in the comments. Thanks so much you guys for watching. Please give the video a big thumbs up for support. If you want to follow me on other social media, as always, the links are all down below, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!